All right, we're going. We are live. What's up, Facebook? Just like you asked, it's Q&A with Corey and Noe. Corey Buchanan. Been friends for a long time. He's here. He has a shirt on. We made it. But we're gonna be talking all things just Kingsville family friends. And then if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask. People already liking this post. Hey, before we get into it, do us a favor: like, comment, and share.
This
Tag
man
some
Sawyer
friends.
just called me.
Oh, did he really? That's cool. Justin, we're on Facebook Live. So,
Hold on.
all right, Corey's getting situated here. But yeah, we're here. We're here. We're live. We are having a good time. So, what it do, Kings? JD Pettis, what's up, man? How are you? Welcome to the Facebook Live. So,
Yeah, I can't hear anything right now.
you can't hear me? All right, we're having some technical difficulties. Do you want me to like?
I can't hear anything right now. Hold up real quick.
You're all right. Corey's working on his on his
Okay, I can hear now.
You're good?
Is Sawyer on? Can you tell Sawyer? Can you message him? He's calling me right now to hop in this. He called me like 3 times. He just started.
All right. I'll just tag him on here. I could just tag him.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we're live. My son's there taking a bath. I can if they might jump in and start screaming. All right, Justin Sawyer, just added him here.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't hear nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna oh you can't let me just all right. We're gonna remove him from the stream and then try to add him back. Corey's having some technical difficulties. This is the beauty of this. All right. So what I'll do is I will add Corey back to this. Can you hear me yet, Corey?
Someone calls me, the audio turns off. Sawyer called me like 3 times.
Everybody's really trying to blow you up. All right, we tagged him 3 times. Hopefully he won't call you.
Him or something?
Yeah, we text him right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we all right, we're back. Cool. So we're just kicking it, just 2 brothers, friends, family. We've been friends for a long time. And Corey, kind of give us a life update, man. Where you've been? Why are you so quiet on social media? I'm just kidding. Where are you at today? Where are you living? And how is your quarantine life?
All right, so where I'm at today, I'm in Walker, California. It's like North California, close to the border of Nevada, kind of in between there and California. Up to date, I'm stationed here. I'll be here for another 2 years. I'm at the training center in Bridgeport. And as far as quarantine life, I mean, it's been good. I'm doing like telework right now. Still working out like 6 times a week, cooking good meals and just chilling, man. I mean,
were you like the healthiest guy I know since like day one?
I'm definitely not the healthiest dude. I just managed a whole pizza today. So, yeah, no.
That's funny. So we were kind of getting into like about Kingsville, things like that. And you said you moved to Kingsville when you were 5?
Yeah, either 5 or 6. I was born in San Diego. My mom was in the Navy. Maybe a few people know that. And then she got stationed down there. Ended up getting out the Navy out there and getting a job with Boeing. So then we just kind of stayed out there, me, her, and my little sister.
Sweet. And then you and the only reason why I know this for sure that we met is because we have like actual photos of us playing baseball together and playing football together. That's how I know for sure that we met when we were little. Yeah. And the second thing is I have like tape of like you playing t-ball.
Yeah.
We play with the was it the
Orioles, baby?
Man, that boy been
your pops is a coach.
Yeah, he was a coach. He was probably yelling at me, things like that. So, anyways, through all that, somehow, some way through like, I mean, when you go to Kingsville, you're gonna go to, you go to every school that if you live on the east side of town, you're gonna go to the same schools, but like or west side of town, you go like to all the schools on the west side. I mean, that's how it was back then. So, anyways, we ended up going to like all the same schools, and then so like we've been friends for a long time. Corey was my best man in my wedding. One of my brothers hanging out.
Happy belated anniversary on the 9th, right?
Yep. And then Corey just celebrated a birthday as well. You just turned
32.
32 years old. So we've been we've been hanging for a long time. And so we just want to talk about just different things, life, etc. And if you guys have any questions about just anything that you want to ask us, we'll try our best to get to them. So yeah, I think the beauty of this for me personally, when this all came about, was that one is that I was testing out this software called StreamYard. If you guys want to sponsor me, go ahead and sponsor me. And then I sent it to Corey, as you probably saw the Corey caught off guard the other day.
Yeah.
Anyways, but also it was an opportunity for me. Like, I have other friends that I've met throughout my walk and my journey that I get to like introduce them to like friends like you. So again, I talk about like who's in your circle, and Corey's been part of my circle since day one. So yeah, man, I guess for me, like one of the biggest things that I think about is how Kingsville has shaped a lot of us, and how it's like it is a small town, but it's easy for us to get into a small town mentality. But I think there's a lot. Yeah, show your dog. It's fine. That's cool.
No, she just hopped up here.
And so yeah, I want to just kind of share like how just because you're from a small town doesn't mean that you have to think small. And I mean, we've all had an awesome experiences living in town and the people that we're around. So we want to just kind of talk to that, like how would you say like Kingsville has shaped your life? And the people, I mean, it's more of like the people of Kingsville, but it just so happened that we lived in a small town called Kingsville.
Yeah, I guess like when I was saying earlier, when you kind of we talked about it a little bit before, it's just I don't know about small town mentality. I mean, when I was in Kingsville, it was big to me. I felt like, I mean, we talk trash and stuff. So
Oh, we lost Corey right when he was answering questions. The beauty of the internet. Don't worry, he'll be back. Corey, I just lost you, my guy. Is someone calling you again? This is so much fun. Well, as Corey's trying to figure out what's going on in his road, we're bringing him back. Emmy, what's up, man? I'll check out the comments, and then we'll see what happened to Corey. Jason, what's up? Melissa, you're the best. Jason Garcia's in the comments. We got 16 comments. Yeah. Okay, Corey, we lost you. We lost you. We lost you for like a good like.
Let me get back. It was Sawyer again. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Man. Jeez.
Yeah, Corey can't see the comments right now. They're asking if you can you hear me?
You have to. I can't hear you right now.
Okay. Do you want me? Let me see. How about now? Nope.
Still can't hear
you. Oh, good. Corey Buchanan in the comments. Okay, this is what we'll do. We'll kick from studio. Kick guest. We'll invite him back. All right, guys. Well, we are messing with this software, of course, and as you can tell, we're having issues. So we are gonna try this again. If you are calling Corey, quit calling him because you're messing up the stream. Cricket. All right, we're gonna try this again. What's up, Rob, Bridget? Let's see. We're gonna try to get back on here. Justin just joined the call. So yeah, we lost Corey for a little bit, but can you guys add questions here? And all right, can you hear me now?
Dog, did you message him?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Sawyer's is finally on the broadcast. He's watching.
Hey, welcome aboard, dog.
Hey, Robert. Hey, Rob. Hey, Rob put cricket. But you know, it's not my Robbie. All right, we're back. All right,
what were we talking about, man?
Oh yeah, so I was talking about the people in our circle and how ask him about the infamous race at Apple Creek. Ask who he went against and who won. That's from Omar. Anyways, Justin put my bad, bros. Ask him how I'm doing. Anyways. People are asking about our lost cause reunion. Anyways, let's get back to the conversation, and I'll get to the comments in a little bit. So I was asking how the city of Kingsville shaped your life.
Okay, yeah. So I'll try to make it quick. Basically, I mean, I've talked to a few people about Kingsville, obviously, since I've left. I mean, we graduated '06. It's been over a decade. I haven't been to Kingsville in like years, man. But really, what I got from it, I know, like, I feel like the theme I was just telling you when you're like in high school and you're getting ready to graduate, everybody wants to get out of there and stuff like that. But I guess the blessing of being in Kingsville, how it's small, you get kind of a community town feel. It's kind of like family. You don't really feel that way when you're there. I guess I didn't notice it really until I left. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, I got like just a tight network and realizing that, like, you know, living in small towns like that, like I've always felt safe, I guess you could say. Like, and I felt like being in Kingsville, growing up there, you're kind of naive. And when you leave, you know, maybe that's just part of growing up too, but you kind of see what else is going on in the world. And I guess it was a good place for me to like grow up and be kind of centered. And
Yeah.
that way, like, I grew up good, you know. We went to church together, right? That was like a big part of my life when I was in high school. I was in sports and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure there's bad stuff going on in Kingsville, but I really was kind of blind-eyed to it. So I think growing up like that and going to other places, it kind of was like, you know, I saw a lot of crazy stuff, and I still do, but I have a good center, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah, it's like a good foundation before you went out to check out other places. You were able to play college football, and then that took you to Louisiana. What is a big difference from Thibodeau to Kingsville?
I mean, there's a lot of black people. That's a big difference. First, hey, I'm just being honest. I mean, yeah, culture shock, man. Like, South Texas is South Texas. Louisiana's, I mean, the Bayou is its own culture within Louisiana itself. But yeah, that was the biggest difference, just culture, man. I mean, you got Mardi Gras going on there. There's just a lot of different stuff if we're just talking about Louisiana itself. Like, yeah. I mean, got to see New Orleans out there. Did a couple Mardi Gras, and it's just a lot different. I don't know. We could talk about that for a long time if we're just talking about Louisiana culture. But I mean, yeah.
Cool. Is there any epic moments while you were in Kingsville that you can kind of recall? Like maybe that one thing that just like maybe changed like the direct trajectory of your life, just like a big moment. If you can like think of one thing, or just like anything specific that happened in Kingsville that were like.
I can think of. I mean, two things is going to church with you guys. I'm coming out of 8th grade, meeting Paul. Y'all just gave me a different perception of what church was like. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Went to like these punk rock shows and staying up late, eating at Denny's. Had my mom calling me at like midnight, like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I'm with the church. He's like, "For real?"
Sure.
So,
you're with the
that
church.
was a good start, right? I mean, like I said, I think that was a good foundation as far as going to high school. Aside from that, football, man. Like, I mean, obviously, tearing my ACL was at my sophomore year. Yeah, I think that was probably one of the biggest things that happened to me. I mean, it happened in Kingsville, but regardless, I think that initial injury, which in college more injuries followed, but it just set the tone of like my work ethic and discipline, because I realized at that moment it's going to take a lot more work to come back, and I've just kind of carried the drive from getting hurt like into other things, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Cool. Who we say that's all right?
Yeah, it's all right.
Nah, that's cool. I love it. I think it's just awesome because like there's like not a lot of people, like I said, for us from the city of Kingsville, like it's a subculture. Like we were just in this type of circle, but yet we're like in other circles as well. But at the end of the day, like this was our like subculture of how we grew up.
Yeah.
And I think we always joke around too, like if we knew how to work the internet better back then, I think there's been lots of viral moments in our lives. Thankfully, there wasn't like, but there's a lot of viral moments in our lives. So I guess, man, I have like so many questions. Tell me about your first car that you got when you got your driver's license. That's a good question. You like that? What was that car? The Honda, right?
Yeah, man, the Honda Accord 1986, 16-inch chrome wheels, black paint, 2 12-inch subs in the back. Yeah, that was me.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking
Go
about.
65 miles on the highway trying to get to HM King. It would start shaking, but that was my whip, man. I don't think I'll ever love a vehicle as much as I love that one.
This so someone said something about you, Art Rogers. Sound familiar?
Yeah, Arthur. Yeah, we grew up, man. Check
He
this out.
said Roland launching Corey 40 feet in the air on his trampoline does a lot to a guy.
You said what?
He said something about like you going on a 40 something about a trampoline that you like flew on a trampoline.
Yeah, probably. Dang, dude, that's old. Like Circle Drive. I want to say, is it Orlando's house?
That's
Or
what it
maybe
said.
his house too. 'Cause I know
Yeah.
Orlando's, man. We used to go over there and jump on his trampoline, kind of have like wrestling matches, all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
I'm trying to like see the more of the comments to like help you out. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, he said his name was Roldan.
Oh, Rodon, dang, my bad. Yeah, I definitely remember him though. He lived like four houses down the left. Then you had Gian that lived right there. Adam. Then you had Matt Trevino used to live kind of further down the right. Bennett too stayed in the middle, and then Jacob Buckley lived right by me as well, man. So yeah.
Yo, speaking of Matt Trevino, dude was freaking touring with Sum 41.
Yeah, I know. I was telling you when you were talking about tagging people. That's someone
Yeah.
I'd like to hear from Kingsville.
Yeah, I remember whenever we would play, I always tell friends like, do you remember Matt recorded us like during school when like skip school to go record?
Was ahead of his time, man. For
Yeah,
sure.
he was. Put triggers on my drums, and my drums sound sick. Man, my drums sound so sick. He said something about Omar said that Stratus though. he put flames. You know what he's talking about?
He put what?
He put flames. He said that Stratus though. That's all he said.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you can't see,
man. Hey, back in the days. Yeah, I'm not into the Stratus, man. Good memories. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't really got nothing to say about it, but yeah.
Oh, I said skip school. My mom just literally commented, "What?" Good.
Tell them I said hello. Did they know I can't see any of the Facebook stuff?
Yeah, I put on that you can't see anything on Facebook.
Okay, cool.
I was gonna get to like I was gonna get to is like so like you guys that I'm doing video still and like graphics and photos and all that stuff. Been doing that for a minute, but this is a cool story. The reason why I got into that is because you told me about Media Tech. So you were taking the course over senior year, and you're like, hey man, come take this class. It's like super easy. And you're like, and it was like, and it's fun. Like if you want to chill, just come. So it's the funny thing is that because of that class, when I got into college, the college professor, I was like decided my major to go into communications. Like I literally to this day probably edited one thing in high school that I can think of, maybe.
Yeah.
And anyway, so then that first year of college, that professor said, "You're a media tech. You're gonna take my senior course." But I took a senior course, and that's when I met my wife Maria.
Yeah, I remember.
And it all happened from a place of if you would have never invited me to Media Tech.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm surprised you weren't in it anyway. I mean, you'd already been heavy. I felt like
with the tapes.
I mean, yeah, man. Think about the stuff like you said, bringing it up earlier about just what if we would have had the media that you have now. I mean, who was out in the street using VHSs to make videos? Like, is Jason in the chat already?
Jason's in the chat.
Yeah, like, I was just thinking about Kingsville, like, because I figured we could talk about the Ville, but I was thinking about memories like who's setting up boxing matches with a VHS in the living room. Like, I don't know too many people like in my life that I met that have any stories like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Bro, I haven't seen the Kuya said Media Tech. There is Justin said, don't forget about the haircut. Yeah, we did a lot of dumb stuff, man. We did a lot of dumb stuff.
Mom was so pissed.
Man, she was so mad at me. Yeah. I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we kind of like, I guess I'll tell a story anyways. The story was we thought it'd be funny, us underclassmen hanging out with Justin Sawyer, who's like a senior. We thought it'd be the most funniest thing to like cut his hair and record it. Not only that, the dude had like freaking beautiful hair, like Brandon Boyd from Incubus, and we messed that thing up. but because I felt so it went from a mohawk to like shaved off. Then from shaved off, Corey decided to say, "Yeah, I know you should cut your hair too. Your mom wants your hair short anyways." Yeah, and then ended up bald. Woke up to my mom hitting me on the head with, "What did you do to your hair?" Anyways, that's a story for you right there.
Boy, bringing in the memories.
Yeah, here we go. Pete the dinosaur is what Robert put. These guys are going like the 8th grade. Velociraptor, bro, my guy. These guys are just gonna keep going in the comments.
I already know.
Anyway, the raptor, Robert said, "Yeah, man, we did. Yeah, he was out of control. Pete, man, but Pete had been on video before because he used to do all like the rollerblading stuff with like Matthias and those guys back in the day. He was cold at rollerblading.
Matthias is still holding the blading down. I think I've seen it on the Facebook stuff. Yeah.
Anyways, one day two student reunion. People are saying crazy things. Do you remember like us recording with Lost Cause, like in that dude's home? It was like I was thinking about that stuff. Like that stuff was crazy. We were like just doing stuff like.
Yeah, man. I think I would
say,
like if I think about big impacts from Kingsville, like or just even like living life, man. Like obviously football for sure from Kingsville, church, and then just like being in a band. That's crazy, man. Like I don't know what kids are doing nowadays. I mean. I really don't, but like, I don't know. It's the fact that I still think about it. I was like we're kids really just going and practicing, playing like regularly. Like, just, I don't know. It was kind of like a discipline, you know what I'm saying? Staying there and we wouldn't just goof off. I mean, for sure we did. Pete, for sure. Mostly. The fact that we like really were dedicated to do something like that, man. It's pretty crazy to think about like being an adult. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah, people are just like saying dumb stuff on the comments. We got 79 comments. I'm not gonna be able to get through any of these. So, anyway, so we're talking about memories.
What questions did you have, man? You're the one trying to do this Q&A.
I feel like I want to answer people's questions at the end. I think.
All right, we'll do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I guess for me too. Let's see. Cool. So then you get to play. Okay, let's talk about this. How about this? I have like lots of ideas, but one of the ideas that I want to talk about is you got to play college football. Would you say the disciplines that you created in high school kind of, or did you have disciplines in high school that put over to college when you played ball?
What'd you say?
Like when you play, because the disciplines, we're talking about disciplines when it comes to like band and stuff. And even early on, I mean, Coach Witt made you quit skateboarding to play football. So you had to like be disciplined. That boy, actually, his wife liked the video as well.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, anyways, shout out to Coach Witt, the GOAT.
Oh yeah, for sure, the GOAT, man. Yeah.
But anyways, it's like the disciplines that you created in high school, did they carry over to college, or did you create new disciplines when you went into college?
So the answer is both, right? Like in high school, like think about it. I mean, you play football. Cootie was in here a little earlier. Like I remember getting to high school, riding with Cootie and whatever whip he used to have to go to the weight room in the morning, right? Like, I mean, that started early. I remember freshman year, I tried out for basketball. I was trash. I think I talked to Coach Witt, and he basically told me I was trash too. And I got hopped in like varsity athletics as a freshman going into that spring, right? So what I got from high school, I mean, just like a lot of positive role models, I guess, already working hard. Like obviously the seniors and juniors that time, Chris Bean, just to name a few, Joey and all those guys. So I just saw like how much better they were getting in the weight room and stuff like that. So, I mean, I guess the work ethic, I knew I had to like try to keep up. So that kind of started discipline as far as just working out every day. As far as this discipline, the main difference from going from high school to college for me was just like, I mean, the amount of time. I mean, high school was a lot of film, especially when we had Coach Witt. Like Coach Witt wasn't playing around, but like going to college was just like, man, dude, I was falling asleep in meetings. I remember my boys be waking me up like, dog, you know you're on a scholarship? Like, but I was just tired, man. Like it's the biggest transition was like I'd wake my freshman year, we'd do wait till like 5, and my first class was at 7:30. It was a government class. I fell asleep probably every day in the government class, and then I'd fall asleep in meetings for film. Like I was just tired. I really didn't have like developed like sleep habits, being on a strict routine like that. You know, in high school, I'm not saying I was smart, but the work ethic I put in as far as school wasn't as heavy as it was in college. Like college, like I knew first semester, I was like, yo, you're not that smart of a dude. Like I had like a 2.3 or 2 something, right? I thank God I had a university prep class. It's basically like how to go to college. I had an A in there, but basically what I'm saying is I learned then. I was like, yo, you're gonna have to change your habits if you want to be successful here, not just on the field, but to graduate school. Because I mean, I love football, but my biggest fear was like failing out of college and having to come home and tell people that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it
as
does.
far as that, as far as on the field, that's a whole nother dimension if you want to talk about. But as far as discipline, yeah, the main thing is, I mean, the work ethic started in high school for sure, but once I got to college, it was more about balancing the classroom portion with football, and then obviously extracurricular activities. I was having doing a lot more things.
Yeah, a lot more freedom.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
A lot more freedom. I'm trying to get back into these comments. Is there anything you want to ask me to switch it up a little bit? I may have some answers.
You
Maybe.
may have some answers. All right, we keep talking about Kingsville.
All right, cool.
All right. So you already kind of asked me this, but I was basically saying, what's a experience or something in Kingsville, because you're not there right now, but something that happened there that has carried out for you throughout life.
Well, I guess for me it was just the people that I surrounded myself with. I think it has been huge. There's been, of course, I don't want to call them monumental moments, but
yeah,
I mean, essentially like a few monumental moments. I had ups and downs, and through my downs, there was like this one moment for me where it's like, yeah, I need to stop doing what I'm doing and just kind of get back to being disciplined and getting back on in alignment. I guess the best way to say is like I was out of the alignment of who I was called to be, and just tasting is the best way to say it, like tasting and testing a different way of life, and which caused dysfunction in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And through the dysfunction though, there was a moment where I was like, okay, through dysfunction, thankful I had people around me that noticed and said, hey dog, like you're spiraling, you're getting out of control.
Yeah.
Maria was already in my life and we were dating, and she was like, if you don't graduate, like I don't want to be with you. Like get your act together.
Yeah.
And so I guess there was like just those moments, but yeah, just the people that I was able to surround myself with, I've made, that have just carried over forever. So like I'll say today, like you, Robert, Richard, Prado, like without you guys, without you guys in my life, like I don't think I would have made it this far. And so like just to kind of, I mean, you can even just see those guys, like the twins, man, like those guys were
since 16,
freaking, they were like 14.
Hardest
like,
workers in the world, bro.
Bro, the Burger King days, they were just getting it with
grinding, dog. I don't know
cooking it up.
Respect, man.
and honestly, I'm like, dude, when's the last time you guys took a vacation from like they've never not stopped working.
no days off.
Those are and I'm saying, so like seeing like work ethic, like seeing like them and the come up and just seeing them, just like again, people around Melissa's incredible, like just same thing, grinding, getting it, and on the come up. And so just like having those people like around me, getting to meet Maria early on, as a freshman in college was huge. That was, I mean, of course, life changing. Life changing for me. Now we're married, 2 kids, and she's incredible, has her master's, and I just just blessed to, man. It's funny because when I tell that story, I'm like, bro, I did like everything in Kingsville, pre-K, kinder, first grade, all the way to college. Not only that, but then I met my wife, and that's the thing too. Like, there was someone in the comments talking about how like I'm not from Kingsville, but like Kingsville's my home. They're like from Fremont, and I said that's pretty cool because like Maria was living in a different subculture in Kingsville for 10 years because she went to college there before like we actually met. So like Kingsville was like her home for a while too, even though she wasn't like from there. So it's just like a interesting like time. I'm gonna take this thing off to you. Burger King in the house. Why did I start working on my 16th birthday? Richard said, why did I start working on my 16th birthday? My boy has not stopped working since.
For real.
Yeah. I guess another thing I guess shaped me too was like my parents, man, like they were just always so grounded in who they were. And they're just been, monumental to me, and just being open. They taught me how to be open to having people over, like no matter no matter who, what, when, or where, like we always have people over to our house, like until this day, like our home is always open. And they carried that hospitality aspect of Kingsville has always carried over to who I am today.
Yeah, well, I say your parents been monumental. I mean, all the crew you just mentioned, dog. We used to all hop in the Suburban, man. Remember you picking me up for school? And I was like 45 minutes late every day for like a whole year.
Late for
like
a
the
whole
patience
year.
your mom and dad have were unreal.
Yo,
My mom and dad too, dog. Living there in the summer, like man, me, you, and Pete under the same household. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Tell me. I was thinking about that too. You guys freaking convinced me to do the Bremer course. I don't even play football. These are like, yo, dog, you gotta do the Bremer course. I'm like,
grinding, man.
Yeah,
hey, that's still one of the hardest things I've done, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's up there, top 10.
But tell me why you guys convinced me to take my dad's car to get snow cones. This is where like
G's,
hey, that you name your favorite hot spot from there.
Picosito,
you remember
man.
The Picosito?
Oh man, that and tiger's blood every now and then.
Bro, but here's the thing. Here's the thing is that I told y'all I'll never forget. I told Pete and you, bro, my dad's gonna notice that his car got moved. Pete's like, nah, fool, I can drive. I'm good. I'm like, bro, you don't know.
Here?
Yeah, Jason's on here.
Yeah, because your dad got some 21 questions.
Bro, and then so we drove off. We made it back, and then my dad just said, "It's my car moving." I'm like, dude, how did he know? Like, what the heck? they just always knew. Anyways, but yeah, I just think like that was just the beauty of our relationships and friendships. Is just like my parents being hospitable to people, letting them come in and hang with us and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess that's been a huge thing for me growing up now that I'm a 32-year-old adult and 2 kids, and like I said, that's just Bridge and Robert put facts for real than 21.
Grown.
Yeah, so people are asking. Okay, so yeah, does anyone have any questions for Corey? Please let us know in the comments. I think the beauty too is like kind of for what at least in my perspective is like our friendship and brotherhood like has been like there's so many different elements that we've seen each other grow up in. And I was thinking about from that. So with that, I want to kind of dive into music. I know it's kind of weird to be like, wait, what? So, but the thing is like I've seen you do like you learn how to play the bass, you taught yourself the bass, you sang, you taught yourself how to play skateboard.
I was singing. I can't sing.
Like my guy can sing and he can sing in Spanish. Corey, when are we gonna see you again in the Ville? Richard asked when you coming back to the Ville.
Man, I've been trying to make a trip. Honestly, right now, obviously nobody can do anything. Hopefully, sometime this year, if not the Ville. I know I was trying. I mean, I've been to Texas when I went to see you guys in San Antonio because I got you guys there and a few of my boys from Nichols as well. But hopefully soon. I mean, and honestly, depending on what happens, I might be down there my next duty station. I don't know yet. I mean, I don't have no control over that, but I'm looking at trying to get back closer to the South for my next place.
So. Retired in Kingsville. Let's go.
Retirement's for a while, man.
Hey, Matt Trevino was in here for a little bit too. He said that he missed us. He was in our comments. Matt Trevino, yeah.
You tell Matt. Well, you said he's gone now. Yeah,
you can tell him. Oh,
hear from.
This dude said the 20-year class reunion. Michael's already talking about the 20-year class reunion. We never make our
we didn't have a 10-year one. That's weak. I thought 06 was better than that, man. Yeah, we're close. Not really.
Hey, friends forever. Not really. Just kidding. Shots fired. Corey, all I want to do is chill one time. Jason said that's all he wants to do is chill one time.
Yeah, I'm down. Like I said, if I can get down there. I mean, I had plans to come down there this year, but I was supposed to go to a wedding in May. But with everything going on, the quarantine, stuff like that, I'm kind of restricted as well as you guys probably for travel. So it depends on what happens, in the future as far as when we can move around again.
Yeah, so we were talking about music. So you were one of the guys that put me onto a lot of good music, I would say, back in the day.
Okay, cool.
So what would you say? Finally got stationed in Texas, no reunion, LOL. Oh, that's what Michael said. Yeah, so tell me, I may or may not still have some OG recording sessions on file. Let's go, Matt. See, now we have proof, and there is receipts. that we were recorded by Matt Trevino. That's huge. That's huge. Now he's doing big things like traveling with Sum 41.
I saw his live the other day. I don't even know what was going on, but you could tell he had a skill set, man.
Yeah, that was.
Matt's been playing drums since like he was a kid, dude. Like it's just crazy seeing him follow his dream, especially like in 06. Like think about how untraditional what he did was. Like a lot's changed already. It's like 2020 now, but in 06, like everyone was like, I'm gonna graduate, I'm gonna go to college. What are you gonna do? I don't know. I'm gonna go to college though. Like Matt's like, I'm gonna go to music school. Like, dog, that's what kids now are like, not taking traditional paths.
That was ahead of his time.
Take that route like boldly and just do the same thing he's been like excelling at since a kid. That's dope, man. So shout out to Matt Trevino. Yeah, you should get him on there.
Yeah, boy's a real one. Coach Science said, "What's up, guys?" Roger.
What
Science.
up, Coach?
Coach Science, the best science teacher I ever had. No doubt. Miss Lowry just joined the call too. Hi, Miss Lowry. How are you? Julie Lowry.
Hello.
Corey saying hi. So Corey, kind of give everyone an update. Corey can't see the comments, but we're having a conversation. So what was your favorite music whenever you were a freshman in high school? That's like a long time.
I don't know. I'm trying to think, man. Freshman year, I'm trying to think what was big then. I don't know. I'm thinking about like between like listening to Chopped and Screw and then listening to like, I mean, when did the emo stuff start? It wasn't ever my favorite, but it just boomed while I felt like that was the culture.
It was like
later in high school, I guess. Like
Michael says System of a Down was your jam.
Oh no, he's probably right. I mean, that's how I started playing bass, to be honest with you. Yeah, I felt like, band, we were in band, right, in 8th grade. And then I remember
Melissa said Kelly Clarkson.
Hey, not yet.
Jason said the Used. Yeah, that was like later in life.
Yeah, that was later. I think freshman year was probably, maybe like System of a Down. That's probably when I started like jamming some rock, got introduced to it. Like I'm saying, well, later like that. But I don't know what my favorite was. I feel like I've been all around for a while, man. I mean, growing up in Kingsville, that's just kind of how it was. But just like I was saying, like I was still listening to hip hop and listening to stuff like that. I think with rock, it was more like just the band piece of it. Like if that makes sense. I remember listening to them, and then with Michael, we'd be like learn. I feel like we learned how to start playing bass in 8th grade. Like someone brought a bass to like a memorial or something like that, and then just started hopping on. Then after that, meeting up with you and Sawyer, that's when I really like. I didn't know no rock bands and stuff like that until we started going over there. And I remember hearing Paul and stuff. I was like, okay, man. I mean, it's different, but I trip out still. Like listening to that, show up to our shows, I'd be like in a Kobe jersey,
looking all swole.
Nick would be there with his haircut, and Pete, would be Pete.
But anyway, those dudes I think about those dudes too. Like they're wearing skinny jeans for their worst skinny jeans too. Talking about Matt being ahead of his time and stuff like that, but like putting on girl jeans so they could have tight jeans. That's crazy. Someone said Outkast. Rob said Outkast.
Outkast. Actually, that's right. I remember listening to them a lot, actually, especially freshman year. Now that you said that.
How did you learn how to play bass? Like, would you like look up tabs, or would you just figure it out?
From being on the worship team? So it started with Michael and them, right? I remember we were playing in there, and then we would just jam out. Then AJ too. I don't know if AJ's on here, but AJ, I chill with him too, and we started messing around with tabs a little bit. But honestly, I would just start making up my own stuff for the most part, and just playing around. But I guess when I started taking it serious was like, going to church, and Paul's like, "Yo, you're on the worship team." I was like, "Yo, I picked this up like a month ago." And shout out to my mom, whether she's on here or not. She's always supportive, so she ended up buying me a bass after I started trying to take it somewhat serious. And then I don't know if I ever learned how to play the bass. I think I just learned a few notes, you know what I'm saying? And then the band kind of organically happened too. And it was just dope to make music. So,
yeah, that's the beauty of like getting plugged into a local church, especially when you're young. You can learn anything and everything that you want to. Cause there's opportunity for you to fail. And then exactly. that's what I've seen, like kind of like down the journey of me, is like seeing people now that we allow them to like jump on team and like learn how to play music and stuff, like when they're 11. Like as I became a youth pastor and got older, like now they're like leading worship and they're like 20s now, like killing the game. And I'm like, damn, that was crazy. Like, I remember like that kid was like 11, and now it's like, so it's cool. It's kind of how like the local church will like shape you, essentially.
Yeah.
Help you. I guess there's no other questions. People just like kind of, we still have your base at the church and use it is what Justin
Who's that, Sawyer?
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, no, I don't mess with bass anymore. Honestly, so with the quarantine stuff, and maybe we could talk about that. Like, with the quarantine, even right before that, just being up here, like, I guess with me right now, I just kind of been trying to focus on things I could do, like make a routine, try to stick to something, not just be sitting around sleeping all day. So I actually had purchased a keyboard prior, just because I had missed music a lot. I don't really mess with the bass anymore. So sorry, y'all got it. I hope y'all keep it in service as long as y'all can. But yeah, I've been messing with the keys now. I got like a 61 key keyboard. Just been messing with that, trying to learn it and stuff like that. Mess around with beats and stuff. I'm nowhere near serious, but I mean, it's just something. If anything, I say one thing I miss from like Kingsville is just jamming out and stuff like that. But yeah, that working out, man, and just what?
Noah, just rocking to the room.
Oh, I thought you told me to be quiet.
No. Say hi, Noah. Hey, Uncle
What
Corey.
up, Noah? Hey.
Say hi. Look, you're on Facebook right there. You want to say hi?
I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. You want to say hi? Say hi. There.
Oh, it's
Can you hear me?
Can
you hear him?
Can you hear me now?
He said hello.
I said, what's up?
Okay, go back to mommy. Close the door, please. He's combing his hair. He just got out of the shower. Yeah. So what kind of music are you playing on the keyboard?
Well, I'm on an app right now, so I'm just learning like notes. So that's why I was saying, since we started talking about music, I just have a new respect for like keyboard, because in 8th grade when playing trumpet, at least for me, we're just learning like on treble clef, but keyboard or piano is like on treble and bass clef. So it's pretty crazy. It's like, I don't know, a lot of hand independence and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of whenever you're trying to play the drums. I never was coordinated enough to do two things, both hands, so it reminds me of that. But I'm not really learning like choosing songs. It's based off an app. So, but I mean,
that's cool.
Just filling in time. And I told you already, like, that's why I didn't do the live yesterday, because I'm in a class right now online. So
that's cool. Yeah, I haven't played the drums in a long time. I haven't touched any music in a long time. I've been more set on the skill of video, photos, graphics, just killing the game with that. I mean, as much as I can. But yeah, I haven't played the drums in a good minute. It's been a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you should be doing.
in the quarantine life, I guess for me, is like Maria and I are learning how to be stay-at-home parents. Man, it's serious, dude. It is. Man, it's tough. It's tough, man. And then having a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old just running around all day, just like, thankfully we got them a trampoline. Grandma and grandpa hooked them up the trampoline, but man, it'll test your marriage. So it's fun. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's so for us to learn how to be good parents at home. And I think I was telling Maria the other days, like I've seen like how, again, back to the circle thing, how people around you can shape you.
Yeah.
And so these past couple weeks have been home, is that I've noticed that Noah's like all these different people because of all the people he's around, because he's just like absorbing everything. And I'm like, man, Noah went from like this person to this person to this person. And I'm like, man, there's someone that's influencing my son's life, and I have to, as a father, I have to be the biggest influence in his life. And so like I have this moment to be the best father that I can be, and like do my best to like shape him. But I know like right now he's just learning everything. So I'm like, where'd you learn that, or who taught you that? And since I'm here, like, from now we're here all day, I get to notice him more than I noticed him in the past, if that makes sense. And you're here, you're in the moment. So that's what quarantine life is like for us right now. It's just like working from home, but then also like noticing like how our children are shaped by the outside world and just people that they're around. So that's why I always say like your circle is so important. Like right now, he's like combing his hair with he's combing his hair, looking at the they look exactly like me. I think I do that. So any other? My mom says that my drum set's at the house. Yeah, that'll probably stay there. I think David Punteo just joined like this call. you just started the biggest part of being a coach, is what Coach Stein said. I don't know if he's talking to me or talking to you, but maybe to me about being the biggest influence in my son's life. Yeah. So my son's yelling in the background. Maria's trying to get him out of the room. Is there any other questions you want to ask? I don't think I'm gonna. I just people just commenting, not really even saying. They're not asking questions. So like, is there anything other questions before we wrap up here? We've been on it for an hour, which is super cool. Thank you for spending this. My son is putting lots of hairspray in his hair right now. Noah. Noah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Is there any other questions you want to ask?
No, you kind of answered them. I only had these questions because I thought you were just be asking me questions. I figured I was gonna get tired of that. But yeah, I was gonna ask you about like fatherhood, things that I'm not experiencing, fatherhood, marriage. I feel like you kind of talked about that already with your quarantine life. I mean, I think for the people, there's still a few people in here. You could talk about being like entrepreneur, stuff like that, coming from Kingsville. And shout out, I guess, before we get out here, like I was talking prior, like talking about Bennett, Matt as well, you, Marcus, and a few other people that I probably didn't mention right now off the top of my head, but just doing their own business kind of stuff come out of Kingsville. So just speak on your journey if you want to.
Yeah, someone's commenting. I love it. It's awesome. People are commenting stuff. Yeah, I guess for me, like, NFOVID's kind of all started after, I guess, in college. I was able to cover college sports there at A&M Kingsville. Saw football, volleyball, just covering it. So it looked a lot different then. Once I was able to get a job out of college while I was in Brownsville, Texas, doing work in a TV station. My dream job was to be like a sportscaster, like in my head, I guess.
Yeah.
But when I got there, there was no sports team, so it was kind of like I thought I was gonna take this job and then like work my way up or whatever, and there was no sports team. So I was like, okay, this is weird. Anyways, all that to say was that I started like learning more about video after college, and then learning that I could do stuff on a DSLR, which is like now like the main thing to shoot. You know, you shoot videos and photos on now with. And so in the fitness world, there was nobody that was shooting footage in the CrossFit world, and so I took advantage of that and started shooting in the area, and I got super excited about it and just kept shooting and shooting and shooting, and then through that, now we're like 10 years later, and I've been shooting for 10 years, and I think NFOVID has been rolling since like 2014. And no one's like dancing in the background. But these past few years, I mean, the camera. Oh, my son's turned off my lights. Of course he would. Hey, babe, can you get Noah? I'm like in a deep conversation. Welcome to my live. Give me 1 second.
Oh.
That's the beauty of real life, real time, live. Oh, and so I guess for me it was like, and I was able to meet a few good people to do it. I think for me, like, I asked a lot of questions, asked different people who were running businesses and how that looked like for them. And so, man, now I get to help different gyms in the area, and I'm still shooting video and photos and youth pastoring, and still I'm on staff at a church here in San Antonio called Pro Street Church, which is amazing. Got to work for a little bit in the marketing department as well when I first got to San Antonio at a automotive dealership, and got to drive Land Rovers and Cadillacs, and that was fun too. But back in ministry and just grinding it out, and then the beauty of what I do today is that I don't need a lot of clients on the side, but the clients that I do have that I do get to work with, it's beautiful to just to help them out, like, and just continue to help them build like their dream, because I get to tell their story. So just like, for instance, like the Fit Slap, I've been working with them for a year. And this is the beauty of like what you're asking me is like, for all the years, right? So all the years that I've been able to do what I get to do, is that this has like been the coolest year for me, because the gym owner that I'm working for, he took a chance on me. He didn't really know who I was, and we're not familiar with one another. but there was a few things that I was giving him free that I would talk about when it comes to branding. And he finally said, you know what, I'm down, let's do this. So we've been working together for a whole year now. And we just in this year, his gym has grown to, so he was at, I think he said 100 athletes last year. And this year in 2020, so we've been for years, like now he's at 200 athletes and plus in a micro gym, which is huge for me, because like I know how hard it in that world is. I mean, you've seen the CrossFit world and you've seen like fitness world, and when it comes to like building a business, like to have 200 plus athletes is like crazy. And I mean, and you get around people that have a business mentality, like their gym's gonna grow. So for me, like in that world, like for everything that I've done, like that was huge. But the thing is, like that took years. Like now I'm 30 years old, and I'm like, geez, like I'm, But the thing is, like everyone's like, how did you get to where you are today? It's like, dude, it's been reps. Like at the end of the day, like it's just reps. I mean, you could talk about that too. Like I'm sure, and that'll correlate with working out. It's reps. Like you got better because of reps. Like you sent me a video of you doing 50 push-ups, and I'm like, yeah, he can knock those out because he's been doing those things since he was 13. Like it's just reps. Like, you know what I mean? Like you've been, it's so that's saying, like today for me, like the things that I get to do, the things that I'm a part of is because, man, I just have tons of reps in the game.
Yeah.
So it's been cool. It's been cool to see like the growth in that, and just trying to help small businesses grow. And like that's the reason why I did this too, is because I thought it'd be cool to have like small businesses try this StreamYard out, and they could test it out and like get their friends or their athletes on a call and kind of see how it works. That's why this is even in existence, because I was testing stuff out.
I'm glad to be a part of the test. It's dope besides when you get a call, because you get a call, it's kind of whack. Yeah, it turned the audio off like 3 times for me. I mean, honestly, so I guess if you want to finish, I don't have the only other question I have, you kind of answered like 10 of them. And that one is just like, so you're an entrepreneur, right? Father, youth pastor, you work for the car dealership, you got 2 kids, right? How do you find the balance in juggling, serving that many things, if that makes sense? Like, I mean, obviously, I guess the easy way to say, is it hard? Or, I mean, do you find time? Do you make like a routine schedule, or is it kind of like you just get things on the fly? Because I feel like I'm not an entrepreneur, but I imagine with your business, it's not like you have set hours where people are like, yo, I want to work, or call me at these times. Like, hey, I saw your ad, or I saw you on social media. And then, like I said, you got 2 little boys and you seem involved, and then obviously your wife, and then you're heavy in the church. So, and I mean, I haven't seen the car stuff in a minute. I don't know if you're still doing that. I know you kind of talked about it right now, but I mean, it just seems like a lot. I mean, and I have a lot on my plate, nothing like of that, magnitude, but it's just like, I guess, how do you find the balance, I mean, to make all that kind of stuff work for you?
Yeah. So, today the auto group is I don't work for them anymore, but they were my full-time job for a good while. Then thankfully I left on good terms, and I transitioned into because I was volunteering at the church that I'm on staff now, and then I transitioned into becoming full-time staff at the church. I didn't make like a big announcement or anything, because like I just trucking, like we're just grinding, getting it all done. So transition happened perfectly, that I left on good terms, that I was able to do a few things for them on the side as a client. So like, and now it's like, I'm thankful I look back at it, because I know that there's people in that world that are unfortunately losing their jobs. I'm just kind of seeing, like, again, and when you're in alignment, God is always like, his hand is always over what you're doing and stuff. Anyways, but I guess for me, it's like, I've been doing my best to work on things called like daily practices. I don't have them down to a T yet, and I'm like still learning how to be better at them. But everything matters. I'm thankful because I can lean on Maria a lot, because she's also a stay-at-home mom, and she works from home as well. And so like she's been a part of the boys' life, like huge, like in this season. So I know that I have somebody that I'm doing life with that is going to help me take care of my kids as well. So there's a lot of things where Maria, like the unseen things, like behind the scenes stuff that we don't get to see, but I get to function in, like, Wednesday nights for youth, and when we were doing youth and things like that, is because, well, Maria's here hanging out with the boys and taking care of them and being part of their lives. So yeah, I don't think it's so much of like a balance, more than it is like a rhythm. Like, Noah's been part of his church since he was born. So like he's like it's part of his life. So I think for us is more, it's just the rhythm, like it's the rhythm of our life, and it looks different for other people. And at this point for us is like we knew early on, like when Maria and I got married, I was already about to be on staff at the church like that same year. So Maria and I got married in 4911, so 2011. And then that same year in the fall, I was on staff at the church in the Valley. So it's just been a part of our lives. So like we learned how to, again, it's reps. So I think it's more of a rhythm than it is anything else. And then me trying to be better father, better dad, better person, and become like Jesus, be like Jesus, and do what Jesus did is like the goal. Especially this year, as I'm 32 now, is like if I don't get more disciplined in my life, I know I'm gonna regret it. Like, and the other thing that I've been asking myself is like the future Noe, like this is the way I've been doing it too. Is like the leader that I want to be today. Let's talk about the leader that I want to be in 10 years from now is the leader I want to be today. So like I'm doing the disciplines today that I want to be, so I can become who I want to be in 10 years from now, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's just like rhythm of life, and I think the boys have just been, man, they just been part of our lives. So I don't know, it's just like they're part of who we are, and it's so like I don't think it's anything like that. We have dinner ready, we have this, but it's more of like, hey, this is what's going on. This is on the schedule. This is the plan. Let's go. Let's do this. This is how we do life. But and thankfully too, like the stuff that I do on the side, like NFOvid stuff, it doesn't require a lot of me, but the stuff that does require a lot of me is like the editing portions of it. But like I'll be at the gym like twice for work, like twice out of the week, once a week. And then like turn over the content is like the way I kind of set it up. But yeah, the plan would be like in a perfect world is that I have something that's passive and I don't have to show up. It's just reoccurring income. Because I think that's the way of life like nowadays. But that's the goal. But yeah, it's just like rhythm. It's all about rhythm, I think. So yeah, got to be a good husband, and that's the thing too. Is like if I can't take care of my home, then I can't take care of anything else. And that's like my mindset. Like if home is tight knit and if it's functioning, that I could be who I need to be outside of that. And if I can't do that, then I'm a struggle. So
dope. That's all I had, man. I mean, you kind of answered the other ones in the other questions. So I don't know if anyone else has anything in the comments or something you have for me, but
yeah, I just man, I think it's I just think the conversation is cool. I think you're like, again, what you are my brother for sure. Been part of my life for a long time, and I just think like, again, I think it's what I'm trying to do is also like let people see my friends and like who's shaped me, and man, like you could just even see like in the laughter of throughout this whole process, but then also like in the previous video is like that's just like a unique laugh that only some people can pull out of me, and like it's just like there's like, dang, like you can tell like there's like years of just like that of just riding together, if that makes sense. So yeah,
man, I wasn't ready, dog. I thought you were just trying to test out. Because I always just know, what's up, man? I'm gonna answer it for sure.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah, and said you're on Facebook Live. I said, what?
Yeah, and yeah, there's definitely a lot of guys and girls for sure out there, women, men, that are killing the game and what they're doing. And so I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing thing. I think it's cool because I want it to people just to see Corey and I have like a dialogue and see what could happen from it and what could come of it. And I think it's important to have a conversation, and probably like, I mean, there's no more late night, so like no one can even watch late night anymore. So I mean, there's late night, but it's on YouTube and it's not on TV. So
well, you're 2 hours ahead of me, so it's only 8 o'clock over here.
Yeah, it's about to be 10 right now, but yeah, man, I just that's kind of like that's been the goal for this, was just kind of like, let's get a conversation, let's talk, and just answer some questions, and then kind of see like, I guess, the road to like the journey of who you are today, where you've been, where you're headed. So I guess I'll end with that. Like, what's your future plan from like that you have, I guess, set up for yourself? Meaning like just what's next for you, if in a perfect world?
I mean, that's a kind of loaded question, and I'll try. I mean, we've already been on for an hour, but I'll basically say Obviously, I'm in the Navy. I don't know if you ever asked, but I kind of already said that.
Yeah.
What I do, I'm a hospital corpsman. It's basically medical, and my end goal is to be a physician assistant. That's what I think I told you I was taking a class right now, but I'm just taking some prerequisites, trying to apply for that program. I'm trying to do it through the Navy. I'm enlisted. It would make me an officer, but that's the sidebars. Really, that's the end goal, right? Physician assistant. If I can attain that, right? And if you don't know what a physician assistant is, they basically work under a doctor. It's a master's degree. But I'd be able to see patients, right? And that's the end goal for me, right? So get my master's and do that. And if the Navy is cool with that, then I'll stay in the Navy, retire, and keep traveling until it's done. And then, I mean, I don't. Aside from after that, I don't really know. We'll see. So I only can
Sick.
really. What's up?
I said that's sick. That's exciting. I
Oh.
think that's all gonna work out for you for sure.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I mean, that's the last class I need, so I'm already trying to figure out. It's just really up to getting selected for that program. But it's been an hour. That'd be a whole nother conversation. But yeah,
we'll end on a lighthearted thing. What's three best foods that you miss from Kingsville?
three best foods. Lydia's. I don't know if Cootie's probably dipped already, but Lydia's with him, even with Buddha. Man, I don't know. I think just because when I eat at Lydia's, I think about like football, like for sure. And it was just on point too. BHB, Big House Burgers, man, grilled fish tacos, and just memories again. Shout out to BHB for giving me opportunity. That was a rough time in life coming back in Kingsville, but
You're in
that
the
was a
weeds.
solid crew, man. I mean, I think that's probably the most fun job I ever had, waiting tables with that
Cootie's still on. He said Lydia's. Cootie's still listening.
Yeah, for sure. And third, let me see. What should I think? I said BHB for sure.
My mom said Pan de Pueblo.
Oh, well, for sure. I'm thinking of restaurants. Your mom's on the Pueblo.
Yeah.
I already asked her for it the other time when I saw it on Facebook. I said, "Can you ship it through the mail, please?" I don't know. I can't think of them off the top of my head. Like I want to say, like, man, I'm blanking out right now. It's been a while.
Justin Sawyer said Casa Tacos.
I didn't really eat there, man. I've been seeing a bunch of posts. Yeah, like UFOs, right? I only ate there a few times. Like, so I can't even sit there and speak on it like I ate there a lot when I was in Kingsville. I'm trying to think of something local that's not just ratchet.
Pizza parlor.
Huh?
Pizza parlor. Robert said pizza parlor.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, good memories there. I can't say it's bad. I remember you used to work there. It was definitely good too. I mean, I had more Burger King whenever he was there, free. Just kidding.
We got Youngs in the house. BHB. Eric Garza said, "Miss you all." Man, people are now they're coming out of the wood. See, you talk about food, everyone start coming in the comments. we got too deep a little bit, I guess. My mom said she'll make you some food when you get down. She'll hook you up with that PDP.
Oh, I believe it for sure. That was it. I don't remember. I mean, we ate out a lot, but shoot, I mean, a lot of time. I mean, being in Kingsville, I feel like people cook. Like being at mom's house, especially at that age, like eating at your house. Even Pete's mom used to cook. I remember I was like, so. I mean, and even Robert and Richard too, man. So yeah, I don't. I mean, we ate out a lot, but I don't really think about food. Definitely Big House for sure. Lydia's like.
Bianca said Young. Robert said that triple stack at BK. Pick you up with that triple stack and that bacon.
Honestly,
too.
I mean, I wouldn't say hometown, but just Waterburger. I mean, I'm not blowing it up like that, but I definitely do miss eating there. But as far as fast food joints,
the homie Robert coming to Big House Burgers and tell me, "Can I get a water that turns into a lemonade?" I'm like, all right, I see what you're doing here.
Oh man, Big House Burger is a whole nother thing for sure.
Yeah, those are made a lot of money there. I talk about that a lot. Like, man, it's just make fast, easy money. Robert said, yes, a water that turns into a lemonade. Yeah, we're so crazy. All right, man. Well, thanks for getting on here. I think if you know anybody that is like killing the game with the custom drawings and the rappers, is what Prato said. You froze on a smile. I lost you. Corey's like cheesing like the hardest right now. I don't think he knows that. He like froze. Okay, so now he's back. He's back. Okay. You were like froze on.
I know it just froze.
My guy's frozen still. All right, you there?
Yeah, I mean.
All right, cool. Well, Corey, thanks for being on, man. He's having some technical difficulties in his world, but we'll just want to say if you guys know anybody that is entrepreneur, maybe someone to talk to from Kingsville that we should get on this conversation, maybe something that we continue to do, let us know. Have a great night. We love y'all. Peace.